Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Music and Beyond. I'm Ernie Crazy Eyes from Primitive Minds. Today, I have a special guest, JC. Is that how you say it?
That's how you say it.
Okay, cool. JC from A Light Divided.
Hi. Thanks for having me today.
I'm excited that you're here, and you know, I've been listening to your music for a while now, you know, and like right away, I wanted to, reach out, but I was kind of like, oh, maybe I should sit on it, listen to the music a little bit more. But I love it now, so it's kind of.
I appreciate that. It feels good to just talk to another person at this point.
I know, me too. I'm always on Facebook, kind of. Hey, so does anybody want to, maybe go back to the '90s and talk on the phone for an hour?
Right? I'm to the point where I talk to myself and I've started answering myself. So that's not good. This is much needed.
Well, what I'm starting to do is I'm starting to listen to songs that I'm starting to listen to songs where they kind of ask you questions, but they kind of answer back like highly suspect, like I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling myself. Fuck everyone else. I'm just
There it is. Got to force that connection.
yeah, yeah. Like I'm connecting with myself during that song, and I'm like, whoa,
That's me. That's the move.
this is getting scary.
Can relate, my friend.
uh, even my dog started talking. I think at one point,
Oh.
but you know, when I started to listen to your music, the one thing that did kind of catch my eye was the name, A Light Divided. And when I first saw that name, it kind of reminded me, or it kind of made me think of, you know, like a heaven or a hell, like
Right.
like heaven, hell, a light divided because there's light on one side and it's darker on the other. But how did you guys come up with the name? Is that what it means, or am I way
It
off?
it's kind of funny. So when we first came up with the name, we were just kids sitting around in a garage, like eager to name our project. And my former guitar player threw out A Light Divided, and I was like, I don't hate that. Cool. Like, let's start a Facebook, let's start a MySpace, which it was back in the day, and let's just run with it. And we
Yeah.
did. But I really sat down and thought about what A Light Divided meant to me. I'm actually kind of embarrassed to say that until through the writing of what we're currently going through, and a lot, like looking back, I realized that A Light Divided has always meant the same thing. And you're right with the light in the dark, but I find that it's more of like an internal struggle, like having, everybody has their light, but we all experience darkness, and it's about confronting and facing the fear of things about yourself that you hate sometimes, and just finding that balance.
Oh, okay. That makes perfect sense because when I started listening to your music, uh, I was trying to find maybe you know, the divided part of the music. I was expecting for some songs to be a little bit darker than others, and
Yeah. Yeah, I think that our message in general is that no matter what you're going through, it's perfectly healthy to feel those feelings and get them out there. But more importantly, it's about taking those struggles and not letting it keep you down, but finding the positive and moving past it, because time is relative. And with time, no matter how hard things are right now, there's always a light at the end of that tunnel.
oh yeah, definitely.
So
Uh,
yeah, as a person who's constantly fighting my inner self, that's where a lot of my music influence comes from. And I know there's people out there that can relate to that. So I just want to put my story out there, and hopefully it can inspire others to hopefully make the best of their bad situations too, and know that it always gets better.
yeah, definitely, and I'm excited you know, for the. Oh, hold on, we have another special guest
Oh,
here.
here
Sorry.
comes here he
Yeah.
comes.
I just noticed it right now. But
Some
see,
people
that's
are
one
just
thing.
late to the party.
Yeah, welcome. You might have to turn on your mic in case we don't hear you. But that's one thing I did notice about listening to your music. Like, there was just so much that you could pick up from listening to your music, whether you're sad, happy, or you're looking for
Well,
something.
yeah, and I'm glad that that really comes across, because sometimes it's really hard to put into words the way that you're feeling in a particular moment. But do the best you can, tell your story, and hopefully people can attach their own personal meaning to it.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm really excited because like I kind of feel like I'm a newer fan, so I have so much more listens to do till I can actually, like know the lyrics to the songs and sing
Yeah,
along. But I'm really excited for that journey.
and we're really excited to have you on board. So,
Yeah.
like, I'm just stoked anytime somebody's like, "Oh, I listened to your music and I like it." I'm like, "Really? Cool, me too."
Hey, sorry, man. I had no audio for a minute there. I was getting nothing. I got to
Oh,
fix it.
It took me a second to figure it out too. So,
yeah. Well, welcome. We have
the old Scott Valina in the house.
Sorry, my name's Scott Molina. I play bass / guitar
okay.
sometimes.
I was about to say guitar, but bass is fun too.
Both, yeah.
Instrument relative.
Depends on the
They
needs.
all break the same.
Yeah, they all get smashed at the end of the night.
Thank you guys. That was the last song because our instruments are broken.
Pretty much. No, we just find more and we'll just continue to break things.
Yeah, it's usually not even the last song either. It just is in the middle of the set when I break guitars.
It's like 2 songs in.
Or Jane breaks them.
No.
To her eye, she smashes my guitars for me sometimes.
My finger is an unusual shape right now because of that. But you know what? I like it. I look at it and it's a reminder that like I went hard as fuck. So
Oh no. That is hilarious.
yeah, it was funny too because everybody was like, "How did you hurt your finger?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just broke a guitar and it's not broken, it's fine, but now it's fractured." And I'm like, "Oh, well, maybe we should have done something about it." But
Shit, that's why I stay away from mosh pits because I got glasses and I don't want to lose my cap either. And
ain't nobody got time for that.
yeah,
Right?
but sadly, during this whole thing going on, I think that might be banned now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting because they say that there is going to be restrictions on stuff like that, but I just can't see people standing in a venue 6 feet apart from each other. I just don't see that happening. That's just not how live music works. I mean, obviously, I think everybody should stay safe and take precautions and do the best that they can. But when it comes to live music, I'm just really interested to see how that's all going to pan out. So stay tuned.
Washing with masks, perhaps.
I mean, I guess it gives you all kinds of room to like do that number and not hit anybody, and everyone's for sure safe. And I guess I can get into that because, I mean, I'm like that too. I don't want to get hit in the face. I really don't. I'll hit myself on stage, but otherwise, like, let me in myself.
I'm fragile.
My glasses alone are like $500 because I'm super blind. So
Mine were too. I remember I went to the eye doctor and they told me how much it was going to cost with my insurance at the time for my glasses. And I'm like, I'm sorry, say what?
hey, you're gonna hate me for this, but I get Medicaid.
All right.
That's why we just stick to contact lenses for now. My glasses are done because I'm too clumsy to own things.
Yeah, I can't get glasses. I mean, I can get contacts, but I like glasses. And see, this is the best part about music and beyond because we can talk about anything here.
Exactly.
But back to the music. And now since we have Scott here, it'll be a little bit more
It's a variety.
yeah, a variety. Not interesting because like females, bro.
It's true.
But who inspired you to pick up the microphone and the bass, or just any instrument in general?
So I pretty much know nothing but music my entire life. I don't even remember like a specific moment where I was like, this is for me. I just always remember doing it. I remember being like 5 years old and putting on concerts for stuffed animals, making my Barbie dolls have concerts, like real embarrassing stuff. But then there came a moment where I discovered that being a musician was a career path. And I use that term loosely. And from that point on, I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to do that. And so everything that I've done in my life since has put me on the path to creating music. Like, there is no other option for me. I want to play music. I'm going to do everything I can to ensure that I do that. And there's no money in this, so that was really stupid on my part. But I just love it so much. I love the way it makes me feel, and I love being to connect with people. But as far as like an influence, I think the biggest influence for me was seeing Gwen Stefani for the first time, like on TV, because she was just a tomboy, but still girly, but like threw middle fingers everywhere and was with the boy. I just loved her energy, and I'm like, that's what I want to do. And that's how I kind of got into rock music and wanting to be in a band and all of that. So, well, I think that I've talked long enough. I'll let Scott say something. I'll ramble on ever if you let me, I promise.
I think mine was like my earliest and biggest influence when I was a kid was Nirvana. I got really into all the Nirvana, like the Seattle grunge stuff of the early 90s. Then I got into heavier stuff. I know like Jason and I have in common, like one of our biggest influences is AFI. And that was definitely like a game changer for me when I discovered that band, and huge fan of them. But yeah, like my like the band that like inspired me to want to be a musician and like and go down that road was definitely Nirvana when I was a kid. I didn't want to be like Kurt Cobain. I wanted to be Kurt Cobain when I was a kid. It was, how do I figure out how to replace him in his body and be him?
That's creepy.
Hey, that's better than who I wanted to be. I wanted to be Scott Stapp from Creed until I found out how much
Oh,
I hated him.
At least you're
He's got a great first name. He's got a great first name.
Oh yeah.
Oh jeez. I'm so slow.
Hey, I'll listen to Creed. I don't care what people say.
Yeah. Hey, also a Florida band. What's up?
Yeah.
Do you just have like a Rolodex of all the Florida bands like saved in memory?
We all know each other. We're all buddies. We all hang out.
We're all friends here. I can't tell you every time I've mentioned a band, he's like, they're from Florida. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
cool fact.
We take pride in our number of artists that have had success out of here.
I guess I aim for Jersey to an extent, but hometown pride.
It's a
I feel
Joyzy.
that respect.
It's a Joyzy thing.
He's a Joyzy thing. He is.
I think what I'm gonna start doing is I'm just gonna hit up all the North Carolina bands, cause like I was telling you earlier, JC, like Falling Through April, Reason to Find, and now you guys, and you know I've been listening. I've enjoyed every song, and you know.
That makes me so happy. It really does make my whole day.
Yeah, and luckily I've been able to see Reason to Find live, and I saw Falling Through April when they had a male singer, and
Oh yeah, the first time we played with Falling Through April, they had a different singer, and then I didn't even know they changed singer, and I went to see Falling April to go support them, and Michaela was there, and I'm like, oh, they have a new singer? I love her. Like,
I know when I interviewed her the first time, I was like, I thought I was interviewing a dude, and his name was Michael. Yeah.
They're awesome dudes. I love them. I never saw them with a male singer. I haven't seen them. I only saw them for the first time recently, actually, on the tour we did. What was that, the Call It Home tour?
Yeah, with home.
Well, we hung out with them in NAMM last year at NAMM, and that's where I met them. We had a blast. They're super. I love those guys. They're awesome.
Oh, super fun. Not really a fun fact, but a piece of interesting ALD trivia. On the spring tour that we did last year, our bus blew up in the middle of the tour, and the only reason that we were able to finish that tour is because Danny of Falling Through April let us borrow their van. So we have nothing but mad love and respect for Falling Through April. We have a new song coming out soon, so if you don't care about my band, go check out Falling Through April's new song, because it's
in the video that we got to see ahead of time is awesome. It rocks.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be hitting up those guys pretty soon.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're good people.
Oh, damn! I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, and see, like my dream tour right now. Since we're here in quarantine, and well, I'm not in quarantine. Like I'm showing up to my bar job on Friday tomorrow, or what? I don't even know what day it is.
we're lost.
Friday. You know, like, and I think we're gonna have bands playing. So my dream tour for right now since the quarantine is you guys, a light divided, reason to find, and falling through April. Whoever wants to headline could headline. Everybody plays the same amount of time. How about that? Everybody wins.
Down. I will tour any. I will play anytime and anywhere with Falling Through April. I love those guys.
The feature is the feature. Wow, I don't know how to speak anymore because I haven't spoken to a person in a while. Anyway, the future is female, and there's a lot of really talented ladies out there, and I'm really stoked to be in a scene where so many of them are featured pretty prominently. So definitely grateful for that.
Oh yeah.
Get the road and play shows in general. Can we go yet?
Fuck it, Facebook Live.
Man, we don't even all live in the same state. Like, we really want to do like a live Facebook thing, but well, you know what?
I'll be up in North Carolina, and I'll be up in North Carolina first week of June, so we could probably do like a live thing then.
Like I said, we'll rack our brains. We'll come up with some ideas. We always have stuff lurking in the shadows that we can't talk about just yet. So.
Yeah. Or how about like a Q&A or something?
Oh, definitely. I definitely want to do another live stream soon, because actually the live streams that we do are so much fun, because it's the best way, since we can't be on the road, to connect with everybody and just kind of see where they're at. Not just talking about music, but just talking about life in general, how everybody's dealing with the pandemic, just little other things to get your mind off of the pandemic, if that's all you're thinking about, because I know that's an issue for a lot of people, is a lot of people who are alone like myself kind of struggle to keep your mind occupied and not let this feel like, oh my God, it's never ending. So it's always nice to create a little bit of interaction with our fans, not just for them, but for us too. Like I said, it feels so good to talk to people, because this is it otherwise.
And that's why I started doing these weekly interviews instead of bi-weekly or monthly. I was just
super cool. Absolutely the right move.
I'm tired of my voices being the only people that talk to me in my head.
Very much feel.
But I wanna talk about Kid You Move the Mountain. I think that's what the song's called.
Kid You Move Mountains?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the
old one. That's an old jam.
Yeah, like I heard everything, and in the interview that I heard yesterday, you know, you guys don't give your first album the love it needs, but it's so good. But I love the change that you guys make in that. Will we be seeing that still?
Which change?
Like the change, like in instruments, like you went from kind of like I guess maybe like a techno beat or something.
Oh, gotcha. We definitely are gonna be diving even deeper into doing some production stuff, kind of having a different vibe. Like I said, none of our albums are the same. And I think that from Mirrors to Choose Your Own Adventure, we grew a lot stylistically, and from Choose Your Own Adventure to what we're currently working on, I feel like is also another big step. So definitely dabbling in some things that we've never done before, and I am freaking stoked to let you guys hear. Like, we're hoping to put out the first single really soon. We have to finish up some stuff before that can happen, but even more than that single, some of the other ones that we have coming up, like everything that we have coming up just gets better and better and better. Personally, I'm biased, but I feel like each song that we're going to put out is just going to get better and better and better as it goes on, and I'm so excited to be able to share it with everybody. You guys aren't ready. You're not ready.
One cool thing about like myself, and I know everyone else in A Light Divided is the same, is every band I've ever been in is, you know, every single album is not drastically different, but fairly different from the previous. And that's definitely just how I am, where like I don't want to release the same album 10 times, you know what I mean? And my taste of what I want to do changes a little bit. And, you know, it's like, okay, well, I did this on this album, and now I would like to do something, you know, maybe a little heavier, maybe a little dancier, or I don't know, on the next record. And I know everyone in A Light Divided feels the same way, and that's, you know, the A Light Divided catalog as well, and that's true of what we're working on now for our next release is going to be, you know, not unrecognizable for A Light Divided, but definitely a slightly different direction, because it's what we're feeling in this moment. You know, it's definitely different from previous material, you know, and that's the case of for everything I've done, and the same with Jace and everyone else in A Light Divided.
Yeah, Just to add on to that, because you bring up a good point, I like using records as like a snapshot of what I'm going through, what I'm listening to, and just who I am as a person at that time. And I mean, not just me, but we all draw influence from each other. So it's like a big melting pot of different styles that we're all listening to. And we just really like to push ourselves. Like I said, like we never want to put out the same album twice. Like if I did a song that sounded like this, then I don't want to write a song that's exactly the same thing, throw a different title on it and call it good, you know? So I'm really excited about this one because I have listened to so much music from various different bands that I'm just discovering for the first time or rediscovering after years of forgetting that those albums existed, or things that have been out for years but are now new to me, and I'm drawing influence from that, and especially from a lot of the bands that we've been playing with over the last year. I think is a big influence. We have so many bands that we've toured with and become friends with that I think are doing some really freaking cool things, and you know, I just want to take a little bit of that and apply it to what we're doing too, because you know, you learn from everybody and you can never stop learning. So I'm excited to see what comes out of it.
Definitely gonna be amazing. And I know you guys, you know, talked about the album and stuff and how ready it is, but do you guys have maybe a potential release date?
Absolutely not. I have one song complete, two in the works. We're going back into the studio at the beginning of June to write a couple new ones. And I don't really want to rush a date on any of it. I want it to be absolutely perfect because every album that we put out is telling a story. And what I've been going through the last year and even up into this present moment is, it's just the most meaningful stuff that I've worked on. I have a really big story to tell with this, and I think a lot of people can apply it to their own situations. And I just don't want it to be rushed. I want to give it the time and attention to detail that I feel like it deserves. And we have all of this time right now, so why not take advantage of it and make everything the best that it could possibly be? So it's ready when it's ready. That's literally the best answer I can give, and that's such a bullshit answer, but it's true, and I wish I had more to share, but
I think collectively we've all been on an emotional roller coaster, every single one of us for different reasons. And I think it absolutely shows in all the new material that we're bringing to the table and that we're working on releasing. So yeah, there is no set release date right now. Once we have it, I mean, we're not even a quarter of the way done recording and even writing the material.
right.
So that'll develop in time, but soon, I would think sooner rather than later. Yeah.
This year for sure.
Yep.
It's a matter of when, because it's going to be probably a shorter album than what people are typically used to from us. But that's just because we didn't want to do so many songs and, you know, have the ones that stand out and some other ones that are a little bit more filler. We wanted every single track to hit as hard as it can and release every single one of them as a single and give it the attention that they deserve, because we're working so hard. And like I said, I think this one is going to mean so much to each one of us individually that we really want to put emphasis on the entire story, because girl, has been a shit show for the last year.
Not even just the last year, like the last 5 months. I mean, what's today? December? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Honestly though,
I have certainly been cooped up in my room here, just recording and writing like crazy. Like, I have so many ideas that I've been working on and so much music that I've been working on. It's insane. It's pretty much all I do.
Yeah. Like, yeah, my process has been, I want it to hurt. I want everything that I record to hurt me. Like, because I feel like that's the best way for me to deal with it. Like being in the studio, creating music, it's so therapeutic. And I have so much that I'm going through that I feel like being able to sing some of these words and really put that emotion in is going to be like the biggest part of my personal healing process. So, man, I'm ready to just get out there and do some work.
And see, that's one thing. Listening to,
I'm so lame.
I bet you anything I'm lamer than you.
My friends, my people.
What I did notice is with every song that I heard, because I heard like everything that you guys have out available right now. Like every song was a different trip, and you could literally feel your emotions, and you could literally feel everybody there, like the guitars, the drums, the bass, the lyrics. It was intense. Like it was an intense ride.
I try, man. I really try, especially with like the track listing. Like from beginning to end, I like it to have that ebb and flow, and for you to experience the emotions that I was experiencing in the order that I experienced them. And this is going to be very much like that, but chop filled into a shorter listening time. Because I know everybody's got a short attention span these days, your girl included, ADD the house. So
I mean, everybody's doing EPs nowadays, so
yeah, I mean, just the way that people consume music these days, no one's really taking in full albums anymore, it feels like.
nah.
They're just going song, song, song. Now, I'm one of those people that loves the story. I love listening to when an artist puts a new record out, start to finish, reading the lyrics as I go along. I'm just that person. But you know, everybody's not me. And I can't just, you got to kind of facilitate to your audience. If people want to consume their music like one song at a time, then by gosh, that's what I'm going to give you. It makes it a little bit more exciting too, because I can explain the songs and where I'm coming from in each of them too. And you know, sometimes I feel like you lose that connection because you not, obviously you apply it to yourself, which is great, and that's what I want. But also, in addition to that, I want them to hear my story too. And then we can talk about it at shows, how our two different experiences are both met through this one song. I always think that's really cool. That's one of my favorite parts about meeting everybody at shows, is when they tell me how a certain song has helped them get through a time. And I'm like, wow, I never would have interpreted it that way. But it's really freaking cool to hear that's how you interpret it.
Oh yeah.
I am rambling. I'm sorry. I'm talking so fast.
It's
Okay.
I mean, it's better to have an interview where everybody's talking. Sorry about that, bro.
So passionate about these damn songs.
But you know, as long as everybody's talking and there's no silence.
Yeah, I just, sometimes I realize that I talk really fast and nobody understands me. And then I watch it back and I'm like, oh, scale back.
I think our bandmates would be like, if you want people that are gonna talk, you want Jason Scott, because we don't shut up.
Oh, they hate us. People are trying to sleep and we're just like talking, and then one gets excited so they get louder, and then the other gets excited so they're louder, and we're just like escalating loudness at all times. And it's
Loud as fuck.
Hey, fuck that. I'm loud. I'm loud even if I'm not trying to talk over anybody. Like,
Yep.
I'm here. This
Yep.
is me.
just the loud person, and that's fine. I've learned to accept it.
Same.
I'm not allowed to go to church anymore because I'm too loud.
Scandal.
And no, it's bad when they kick you out of church. Like, you're not allowed to come to church anymore, sir. Damn hell, because you're
Pray,
loud.
sir.
Hey, I'm over there doing a confession. I'm all saying it loud. Whoops.
Everybody hears all of your sins. Everybody's outside just like, did you hear what he said?
That would make like an amazing Saturday Night Live sketch. Like, that would be.
Right?
Maybe this is a Saturday Night Live sketch. I'm kidding.
My life is a Saturday Night Live sketch.
Dang, oof.
My life is a romantic comedy, except without the romantic stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Mine's a tragedy. Just kidding. It's a roller coaster. It's a thriller. It is a thriller for the ages.
There you go. And who would you guys like to tour with?
A Day to Remember, A Day to Remember, A Day to Remember. I don't know what it's going to take.
Florida band.
Florida band, you know, I know that. Oh my God, we went through Ocala one time and I was like, can we stay here? This is where A Day to Remember's from. I have to stay in a hotel. And we did.
No.
It was awful. But
Ocala's only an hour north of me here in Tampa. It's literally just right around the corner. But yeah, there's nothing in Ocala. I mean, I've played there many times. There's like one venue and it's basically a VFW. You know what I mean? There is nothing.
But yeah, I don't know what I have to do to get A Day to Remember to have us open self-help and let me sing If It Means a Lot to You with them just once, but I'm going to put that out into the universe and hope that it manifests, because I would die. That's like number one on my bucket list, is to sing If It Means a Lot with You, or If It Means a Lot to You with The Day to Remember. Actually, I don't even think I could do it. I would just cry the whole time. So, but yes, I love that band, and that's 100% who I would love to tour with. They like inspired my entire existence.
Just write on their Facebook page every day, like, hey, can we tour with you? Like, that's a huge.
I'm gonna harass them. Oh, they're gonna get so tired of hearing the words "a light divided." They're gonna be like, "Fine, if you'll shut up." Like,
can we play in the parking lot, please?
It's gonna happen.
I guess if I could tour with anyone,
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'd probably make it AFI. It'd probably be like AFI, or I'd love to tour with Mayday Parade, because I'm a huge fan. Our genres are a little different. Might be a little too heavy for that tour, but I love Mayday Parade. I would absolutely. Oh my God, I would. It would be amazing to tour with those guys, or AFI.
I would die for AFI too. Like you said, I love AFI. I would. If No Doubt had a reunion and needed A Light Divided to open.
Hey, I mean, it can be as different as what I wanted to tour. I wanted Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, or no.
Florida band.
I wanted Adelita's Way to tour with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, even though they're like two completely different genres.
It's fun to mix genres, though. Like, gives everybody a taste of something new. And if they don't like it, then they don't like it, but at least they experienced it. That's how I feel. I love a genre show.
People that go to see Tom Petty are gonna like the bands that are gonna be playing there too. So
exactly. Yeah, there were so many shows that we've done where it's like really heavy, hardcore type of show, and then there's me with sparkles and pigtails skipping around, twirling. And some people in the audience are like, what the fuck is this band? But then other people are living for it, and they're like, oh, I came out to this show because my boyfriend likes these bands, but I fucking love your music. And you meet people that way. So I love playing shows of all genres. Plus, I like those fucking heavy bands, so I want to play with them.
yeah.
Like August Burns Red. I had no business being on that show, but I loved August Burns Red, and I didn't care if anybody hated us. I wanted to play with them.
And I mean, I think I freak people out all the time because I pull up to a show blasting Cypress Hill or Eminem, and I'm like, hey, I'm here to interview this band. Like, what? You were listening to Eminem or Cypress Hill? I'm like, yeah, I like that shit too.
Yeah, I'm just a big fan of music in general. But like R&B, actually, there might be some R&B-ish influence on some of the stuff that we're doing. You never know. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, probably when I leave
into that world, because I love that. I love it so much now, and I love pop music a lot.
Yeah,
but heavy music.
I my bandmates with copious amounts of Rick Ross and Big Sean in the van.
Yep, it's true. We're just fans of everything. I can't tell you how many times like Post Malone or NF or Kendrick Lamar or something has played in our van. Like,
you know what? Might as well make it this. I know he's not alive anymore, but Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Adelita's Way, and Eminem, and Cypress Hill. 4 different people.
Let's go.
Yep.
I'm for it.
What was it for? Didn't who was it? Was it Lil Wayne? And was trying did a run with Blink? Yeah, it didn't last very long, but it was a great idea.
It was a great idea, dude. Travis Barker's a beast too. Like, I just cannot sing those phrases.
He is so good.
Like, it's unfair how much talent some people have. Like, where you get it? Why are you using it all for you?
For
sure. Me, I thought I was gonna be a singer one day. Instead, I'm talking to the people that make the music.
But you're still a part of it, and that's cool.
Yeah. I was just at least you still work in the music business, man. I mean, that's a gift, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Until I have to go back to my real job. I'm a bartender, so.
We all have those.
Well, I'm currently on extended paid staycation. I'm thriving in it. I love it.
Lucky you,
Just
I go
having
back.
time to sit and focus on creating.
I go back.
I'm technically working right now while doing. I'm working at the same time. Lucky me.
Nice. I go back to work Friday.
Oh, well, enjoy the time off while it lasts before the real world kicks back in.
Get away from me. You're beautiful, but I can't touch you. And can you tell me a little bit more about plastic crowns? Like I felt like there was like maybe like a different meanings in that song. I guess depends.
the
Yeah.
the premise of Plastic Crowns was basically don't fuck with someone that can kill you.
Oh, okay.
And we used a lot of heaven and hell imagery to sort of portray that message. It's one of my favorites on the record. That song goes hard for no reason live. Like, it's my favorite song to perform on stage because that second verse where we all sync up just looks so badass.
Hands down, my favorite song to play live for sure.
Damn.
But yeah, I just wanted it to sound really creepy and weird, but still, be palatable enough for people to listen to it as like a, rock song. But I really like those stacked harmonies in the bridge. Was an idea that our producer Josh Landry had, and I was like, oh, that could be cool. And then like once I tracked it, I was like, yo, you are a genius. This sounds so sick. I want to sing everything like this.
I think that's the song too live that always breaks guitars. That's the song.
That is what I broke pinky during. It was freaking Crowns that I broke my damn pinky during.
Yep.
Not surprised.
Hey, bro, how many bass strings do you go through a night?
Actually, bass strings. I don't have to change too much when I'm on. Yeah, when I'm playing guitar on tour, if I'm playing guitar on a tour as opposed to bass, then yeah, I go through a lot. I definitely have to change strings every couple nights, especially because I'm not even kidding when I say we destroy instruments. I have a problem. Like we've done multiple tours where I've gone through 3 guitars, where we had to go to Guitar Center and buy a new guitar because I smashed my other 2.
Do you remember? I think it was the tour that we do at Varsity. Do you remember? We broke like 3 tuning pegs off that one guitar every night for 3 nights.
Oh no!
Every night.
I still have one in my purse because I broke it with my finger again, and I kept it as a souvenir.
Jesus Christ! How strong is your finger?
Don't find out.
I had to go buy a guitar on that tour because I broke my other one, and I still had a backup, but I had to go buy another one. So I went and bought another guitar at Guitar Center. And then that night, I snapped the tuning machine off of it. So I was like, shit. So then the next day, before we played, we went and I bought a pack of tuning machines, 6 of them, and I only replaced one at a time. And every single night, I'd break a different tuning head off that fucking guitar, and then we'd have to put a new one on, and then that night another one would snap off, and we'd have to put another one on.
Do our setup routine. Really, we gotta fix Scott's shit real quick. Go ahead and put 15 minutes in there.
Guitar Center, if you're listening, please sponsor Scott. Thank you.
We need help. It's
like,
look, we're so incredibly passionate about what we're doing, and we love performing. Like, as much as I love creating and making music, man, I am a performer. I love being on stage. I love using my body to express the lyrics that I've written and just go hard. And especially when the audience is giving it back to you, shit gets broken sometimes, which is why I feel really guilty when like a lot of people want to come on stage with us. I'm like, I just can't have that. It's a liability. You're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Telling you, man. Yes, please sponsor us. We've got like a Catholic sponsors us for clothing. We got Taco Bell that gives us free food. But for some reason, nobody wants to give me free fucking guitars. Maybe because I destroyed them. I don't know.
You're gonna break them and they don't want to see their beautiful work just destroyed on a night.
Yeah.
Make a better guitar.
Hey, but
we're never getting it.
But right now that you said crazy stuff, what's the craziest thing that you guys have seen happen while you guys are performing?
Craziest thing I've seen while I was performing. I don't know. it's all just kind of situational. Like I can think back to like our Choose Your Own Adventure album release party where the entire room after one of the songs was just chanting ALD. That's crazy to me. Like, why is this entire room of people chanting my band's name? It literally made me cry on stage. I could not handle it. It was so emotional. But then, like, I've played shows where the entire ceiling fell in, and that's crazy for a completely different reason, you know? So I've just seen, like, the broadest range of crazy things. There was one show we played where all these dudes got naked on skateboards. That's wild and creepy.
That one.
But I guess you could say you tore the roof down.
Yeah.
We literally tore the roof down. It was so funny. Like, I told this story on our Facebook Live, which if you guys aren't following us on Facebook, you need to just come and join the family because we talk about a lot of dumb stuff over there. But we played that one show and the entire ceiling collapsed in the middle of our set, and we stopped, made sure everybody was okay. Everybody was good. So we just picked back up and continued on with the show. And at the end of our set, everybody was coming up to us with pieces of ceiling to sign. And it was wild. It was really cool though.
I normally like to tell embarrassing stories of myself on stage because I've fallen off of stages countless fucking times. But instead, I'll share an anecdote that makes me sound like the coolest guy in the world. Like many years before I was in Life Divided, I played, I'll never forget, it was Birmingham, Alabama, Iron City, I think was the name of the venue. It's awesome, beautiful venue. And they had the gates to separate the crowd from the stage. You know what I'm talking about? And then you know how you could stand on the back of the gate and kind of get right in the crowd's faces and whatnot. And I did that right in front of like the only 3 hot chicks that were at this show. And they were hot. And I like literally stood like right in front of them and was like holding up my guitar and shit. And like, they literally like grabbed. And I'm on stage in front of a ton of people, and I was like, wow, okay, what do I do? Like, if I jerk back, I'm going to look like a dork. You know what I mean? If I let this happen, like, I don't know what's about to happen. So, yeah, literally, like, unzipped my pants. And then, like, that was it, though. Like, after that, they kind of, like, and that was the end of the story. But it was like, yeah, I'm fucking awesome.
That's funny because on the flip side, I've had people who touch me during shows, and I am so incredibly offended. So.
The t-shirts I wear get me flashed for some reason.
They what?
They get me flashed. I have a shirt that I wear to every show that I ever go to that says "Who shit in my pants?" And girls, and girls for some reason love that. I'm like, okay.
That's love. You know you found the one. When she's also wearing the same shirt at the show.
Oh no.
That's your romantic comedy, friend.
Oh no.
Right? Hold out for
and,
that one.
Here's another song I wanted to talk about. Another Fight in Brooklyn.
Oh, that's my favorite.
I was listening to that a few days ago, and again before you came on, and I was like, man, this song is like super fun. Like, I want to go out now. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
That's my favorite one. It's one of the more personal ones to me. Like I was discussing before, I have the worst and most vicious inner self-critic imaginable. Like, anybody that knows me can tell you how hard I am on myself at all times. And so writing Brooklyn, I was going through one of those severe moments of doubt, just doubting my abilities, feeling just like a piece of shit. And Brooklyn is about, even when you feel like that, telling yourself you are a badass, you're put on this earth for a purpose, and to go out there and do your fucking thing. So every time I'm feeling low, that song, like singing that song every night, gets me so hyped because it's just a reminder that I'm here for a purpose, and I'm here to put on a badass show and connect with people that paid to come see me for some reason. So yeah, I love that song. But there's so many people that tell me like their experiences of it, like they're struggling with school, and like listening to that song will help them like study for a test and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's so freaking cool, because like I'm writing about my experience as an independent musician going through the business, and to hear it from somebody else's perspective is just, it's just so mind-boggling to me. I'm just really grateful. I'm fumbling over my words because I get really emotional talking about it, because just feeling that love back and knowing that you touched somebody, especially on a song that you were in such a dark place with, makes it seem so worth it. Tears, sorry. As a baby.
I can't wait to go back and listen to that song again. And the video looks fun too.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that video was so fun. We were on tour with our friends in Varsity, and they had this guy, Christian Lawrence, doing video for them and taking pictures every night. And super sweet guy, one of my favorite humans on the earth. And he was like, hey, do you maybe want me to like do a video for you guys? Just like a little teaser, like a minute, like tour wrap up. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I was like, I'd like to do it for Brooklyn because that song's, you know, very personal to me about going through the industry and whatnot and doing this every night. That's my passion. And I think it would be cool to put like a video of us in our element, like, because we've done videos where we're putting on live performance, but it's all like on a set game, you know, like most bands do. But that one was literally us on stage performing every single night for the entire length of the tour. And he cut together a minute-long video, and I'm like, that's sick, but I love the way you did this. Can I get the whole song? And he's like, yeah. And I'm really excited because we're going to be doing some more work with him soon, hopefully. When this all passes, we can get to New York and do some more stuff with Christian, because he's a genius. Like, he's so good at what he does, and I'm really excited to work with him again.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun and
fun times. Oh man,
honestly,
I have all this pent up energy too. That woo.
That was my first video as a member of the band. That was my first tour with ALD too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was the genesis of you being in this band.
And how did you feel being in that video as being like an intro? How do you feel that video being an introduction to the fans? Fuck, I don't even know if I said that right.
For myself, yeah, I think it was a great introduction for me as a member of the band. I thought it was perfect. I was super stoked to release that and be like, yep, this is my new band. I have officially joined this band, and we're fucking awesome. Here, see for yourself.
Hey, not many people can say that, but that's freaking awesome.
Right. Yeah, no, I was really happy about the video. It did turn out pretty great. I was stoked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck. I guess it's gonna be a light divided type of day.
I'm not good at that. Like I said, I'm biased, but I am 100% in my favorite band. Like, I love being in this band, and I think that's how you should feel about your band, because if you don't believe in it, then girl, nobody else is going to. So I'm so stoked on being a member of this band. I'm so stoked on what I'm able to create. I'm so stoked on the people that I have on this journey with me. Yeah. I literally could not ask for a better team just across the board, like counting my lucky stars every day.
Yeah, and see, that's why I heard some of the interviews these past few days, because I wanted to, you know, like, I wasn't sure that if I was gonna get another member or just a singer, but you know, I just wanted to make sure to get a feel from you guys just in case more decided to show up.
Yeah, I like being a part of every single interview just because this band is my heart. It's my baby, and I always want to talk about it. If somebody wants to talk about it, I want to talk about it too. Like, that's how I feel. But I also like having my bandmates be a part of the interviews, because it's not just my experience. You know, the five of us interpret everything so differently, and I think it creates a more well-rounded picture of who A Light Divided is when you have more than just me talking all the time, which it is a lot of the time, because I talk over everybody and I'm loud and confusing, but
I think we will be really good friends, but let's see who can talk over. Let's see who wins. Let's see who wins.
I'm ready. I'm ready to fight.
I'll meet you in Brooklyn.
Yeah. That was really cool. Totally off topic, but we were on the Awake at Last tour that we did in January. We got to play Brooklyn in Brooklyn for the first time, and I just thought that was cool. Like, nobody else cared, but I cared. I thought it was fun.
That's amazing. Yeah. And let's see. Message to the fans. What would you like to tell them right now? You know.
Um, let's see. I have a lot of thoughts, so I'm gonna try to like condense as much as I can and just hit some high points.
If,
So
if
first
you
of all, I would like to thank everybody, just any and everybody who has taken the time to check out my band. Whether you loved us, whether you hate us, what if you liked us on one album and hated us the next, doesn't matter. I appreciate every single person who gave my band a listen. I thank everybody out there who does love us and has not forgotten about us in these crazy times. But most importantly, I hope that everybody is being safe out there and are hanging in there, specifically those of you that struggle with depression, anxiety, or any other mental illness that is really, really, really hitting you hard through all of this pandemic craziness. I'm freaking here for you. I relate to you. If you ever need somebody to talk to, come find us on our Instagram, our Facebook, our personal accounts. We're always happy to talk to you. You're never alone. You are never alone.
Yeah, I think I've said this before to fans in person, but like overall in general, I feel like, you know, I feel like there are no words to describe like the level of thank you or appreciation. You know, I mean, people come up to me and tell me how much they love the band or they love what we do or whatever, and it's like, all I can say is thank you, but it's like that doesn't do it justice. There is no word to describe the level of appreciation, and all I can do to show my appreciation is do what I do, which is literally give every inch of me every night on stage. And that's why we, you know, attempt to break our necks and our backs and destroy guitars and climb things like an idiot and possibly die, because it's I can think of to do to just be like, I can't thank you enough. Like, I don't have the words to say thank you. So I'm just going to give my all to you every single night, whether it's one person that came to see us or, you know, thousands. Like, you're going to get the best of me because that's the only way I know how to thank you. That's the only words I can say, because thank you doesn't do it justice.
No, absolutely. That's exactly how I feel. Like, and that's why I try to extend myself to everybody as much as I can, whether that's over social media, when I meet everybody in person. Just however I can communicate how grateful I am for everybody's support, I want to be there to do it, because like, it doesn't matter how good your songs are. It doesn't matter how talented you are as a musician or songwriter or anything. Without those people streaming your music, sharing your posts, who the fuck cares? You will get nowhere. I have been able to do some of the coolest things that I couldn't even imagine myself doing, solely because of the support of other people out there who love what we do. And like literally, this sounds so stupid, but sometimes I think about certain experiences that I've had, like playing Rockfest. I flash back to the moment of me standing on that stage in the empty grounds before they opened the gates and let people in. And I just cry thinking about it, because I work so hard and the people out there love us so much that I get these opportunities. And like, who the fuck am I? I'm just some girl born in New Jersey that writes music. Like, it's mind blowing. It's really crazy when you sit down and break down every single thing that our fan base is able to do for us. And like I said, I'm just so grateful for it. All the love, the hate, the constructive criticism, all of it.
My hope is that our fans don't consider themselves fans. They consider themselves friends or family, because that's how they are to me and to all of us. And I hope that they feel that. And I try to portray that to them and make sure they know that. So yeah, I hope they do know that, because they're not fans. You know, they're our friends. Like, they're our family. You know, like
that's exactly how I always try to approach it. If you are someone that takes time out of your day to support my band in any sense, whether it's just commenting on something, liking something, sharing something, stuff that doesn't cost any money to do, you are my family. I have people who say they're my friends that don't pay attention to shit my bands do. Right. And I take a lot of those people out of my life, honestly, because the people I want to focus on are the people that I have that connection with, that connect to what I'm doing, to what we're doing, and we have each other's backs. So you support me, I'm gonna support you. And I just think that's how it works. Like we are family, we are a community. And like I said, I think the coolest thing, I'm sorry, like I said, I have a lot of thoughts and I can keep going on.
Hey,
But
continue. We got plenty of
my
time.
favorite thing to see are two fans or people that are part of our community that become friends with each other through our music, and you see them interacting with each other. Like, that is just so freaking cool to me. Two people from two opposite sides of the country coming together and sharing an experience over my fucking music. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, blown away, like literally blown away on a daily basis. And like Scott said, thank you. And the level of gratitude that I have for everyone, I literally cannot find a way to convey. I really don't.
Yep.
That's awesome.
But I'm just an emotional person, and I cry for like literally everything. And I say literally every second. So
This is true.
I almost cried today. I was watching the Owen Hart documentary and got a little bit emotional. I made sure not to cry because I knew I had to come see you guys.
I watched the Backstreet Boy documentary, and I cried my eyes out to that. So that's an embarrassing.
Michael Jordan documentary last night. I don't know if you've seen any of that. That was fantastic.
Is that on HBO?
It's like a 10-part miniseries documentary on ESPN, actually.
Oh, ESPN.
I'm not even a huge basketball fan, but it is so good, man. It's fantastic. Highly recommend.
Nice. I'll definitely check it out whenever I'm done watching what I'm watching.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm watching anymore. I'm kind of like, oh, South Park, I guess.
South Park is great.
I rotate between like 5 shows right now, and people keep throwing out suggestions to me, and I'm like, let me finish my 5 shows that I've already seen first. And I'll add a new one into rotation.
The 2 shows I'm really in love with right now is Good Girls and Dead to Me.
I've heard of that.
Oh, Dead to Me, but I haven't seen it yet.
It's so good, and I love Good Girls.
I haven't seen that either. But that's like, I watch Friends, Parks and Rec, How I Met Your Mother, and Family Guy on like loop. So
I watch during the day while I'm working on my laptop. I usually have on Seinfeld and or South Park at any given time. But like, as far as shows that like I'm watching that I'm actually paying attention to, I just finished the new show The Great, which was actually produced by the company that I work for.
Nice.
It's fantastic. It's about Catherine the Great. It's hilarious. Like, it's on Hulu, I think. Highly recommend. It's fantastic. It's so good, man. If you're looking for a new comedy / drama to pick up, historical comedy drama, it's great. Fantastic show.
I think I've been really into watching a lot of YouTube videos more than anything recently. Just because I feel like I can search specific subjects and get like a real quick sort of look into each of these subjects. And, you know, sometimes you spiral down a rabbit hole of various things. But sometimes I feel like, especially because I'm watching so much TV right now, I feel like that's just a lot of all I can do. I just get kind of tired of watching shows and the fantasy that sometimes I feel like I just want to use this time to learn about something that can benefit me going forward. Like I said, just finding little things to keep my brain productive and not send myself down an infinite level of spiraling. So
I feel like I'm going down the rabbit hole right now because the only people that I've been watching is Joey Diaz and Joe Rogan, and that could get
Rogan.
Joe Rogan's leaving YouTube. Have you heard that?
I did hear that.
Sell out.
He struck a deal with Spotify exclusively.
Yeah, I saw that. Actually, I think it was this morning I saw that.
Yep.
And I
Maybe
was
YouTube too, guys.
He's the coolest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got a good show.
Good luck to him, but I'm gonna stick to my iTunes podcasting and my YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have Spotify.
podcasts. I try to get into podcasts, but I think the thing is that I can't just listen to something because my brain goes all over the place. So it's easier for me to watch somebody doing a podcast because then I have that visual too, and that's just how I process things better.
I'm the total opposite, actually. Yeah, when I watch the video, like, I find it I don't want the video. Like, I want, like, in my car, I don't even listen to music in my car. Like all I listen to is podcasts. I mean, if I'm driving anywhere, it's a podcast. That's it. And I'm like a podcast.
I'm just not driving anywhere now.
I listen to podcasts because I hear people talking, but I don't see them. So it's like I have no friends, but the voices in my head keep telling me things.
Yeah, like I said, I love Joe Rogan's podcast, but I said I prefer a visual. And there's another one that I watch too that's called Coffee with My Ex. Like that, if you guys don't know, you should check them out. I feel like they're my best friends. But they have their podcast on YouTube, and I solely only watch the videos because I can't comprehend. Like my ADD is just way too out of control to be able just to sit and listen and focus, which is, you know, at least we know that about ourselves as an adult because we didn't when we were in school. So.
Hey guys, and you guys could watch me on YouTube too because this is where it's gonna get posted.
Exactly. See, that's the move.
Nice.
I had to put in a cheap plug there, even though this is the show.
Oh, yeah. Got to get that shameless self promo in there. I do it all the time. Like I wear my own band stuff out. I don't care. Like I love it. It's comfy. I think it's cute, and I want to wear it. I mean, I'm not gonna like wear it in my band promos, but if that's your journey, then go off, sis. Like everybody, just do you.
And I kind of feel like we keep going into like different stuff, but you know, it's a conversation.
We'll start on one topic and then it's like here we're like, how did we even get there? That's
it's awkward because it's a conversation, you know. Like some people like to be serious. I just like to make sure that you guys are comfortable, you know.
Yeah, like when I do interviews, I think when I did earlier interviews, I was so set on like I have to say this and I have to say that and I have to talk about this. But now when I do interviews, I just want to have a conversation with the person that's talking to me. Like it should just be a normal conversation. Yeah, we can talk about music, but why not talk about some real life stuff? Like we're all just humans, right?
Hello, my name is you. Oh, sorry. But yeah, definitely. And this is more of a fun one. I think JC is really gonna like this one. If you were stuck in an elevator with any musician, dead or alive, who would it be, and what would you talk about?
Oh, I actually have to think about this. Just one?
Yeah, just one.
Man, narrowing down stuff is hard. Scott, do you have one off the top of your head?
First of all, if I was stuck in an elevator, I wouldn't be talking because I fucking hate elevators.
Okay, fine.
My big fear.
Big open spaces.
Okay. God, I don't know. My head automatically goes to, like we were talking about Kurt Cobain earlier, being, you know, that was like my earliest and biggest influence as a kid. But does it have to be a musician? Can it be anyone? Or I guess if it is a musician, I don't know. I guess Kurt Cobain. I guess just because that was like my earliest influence as a kid and like my biggest influence to inspire me to want to be a musician in the first place. I don't know what I would even ask him. I think it would probably be I would want to know why he was so unhappy despite achieving everything he achieved. Like what made him so miserable to want to end his life. I guess I'd also ask him if he did in fact end his life or if Courtney killed him like everyone seems to think. But yeah, I think that's probably how I'd have to answer that because that's I don't know. That is a good question. I haven't really given much thought to it.
Yeah.
Courtney?
So I think I'm gonna go. Like I don't think people are gonna expect this one from me, really. I think I'd want to get stuck in an elevator with Britney Spears.
Oh, nice.
Because I just want to ask her what's really going on. Like, what's the story, girl? You know, like all the stuff with her conservatorship. And her dad is running her life and all the rumors that her voice is not really her voice. What's going on? I bet she has a real interesting story to tell that would keep me engaged until I can get out of that elevator. So, Britney Spears.
What conspiracy videos have you been watching?
Too many. I fell down the Britney rabbit hole yesterday, so it's kind of fresh on my mind.
Isn't Britney Spears from Florida?
Oh,
No,
no.
she's from Louisiana.
Oh, is she? Okay.
Maybe I'm from Florida, guys. Hey, maybe Carl Baskins is a new Courtney.
She's a new what?
She's
New
a-
Courtney? Yeah. That
Yeah.
is
Cats and kittens.
that Big Cat Rescue is like 20 minutes from here where I live, man. I've been there before. It's right around the corner. It's known here in Tampa.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It's also what's funny if you watch that. I know I told my bandmates, I told you guys, but if you watch that documentary, the scene when she talks about how she was walking down the street at 3 a.m. and it shows the street she was walking down at 3 a.m. That's like notorious in Tampa for being like prostitute central. Like if you drive down that street if you drive down Nebraska Ave at any time of day, you will see minimum 5 crackhead prostitutes walking up and down Nebraska Avenue at any given time. Like 100%, she was hooking when she met her husband. True story.
Oh no.
Gonna have to do another documentary on that.
Telling you.
Baskin Robbins. And lastly, where can we find you guys, social media wise, and
Pretty much A Light Divided everywhere. Facebook.com/AlightDivided, @AlightDivided on Instagram, @AlightDivided on Twitter, @AlightDivided on YouTube, @AlightDivided on Spotify, all the things. But definitely check us out on Spotify. We're not touring right now, unfortunately, thanks to the Rona ruining everything. So literally, streams are helping us so much right now. So do your girl a solid. Listen to a song.
and if
And follow us if you want to keep up with some more random shenanigans, because we do stuff like this all the time where we just kind of like chit chat and talk about all kinds of shit. Really.
yeah, future Q&A probably will be in the works.
Yep.
Sure.
Like I said, that's coming up here in a couple of weeks. North Carolina is supposed to be opening back up at least a little bit starting Friday. So we're going to be clear to start working on some fun little projects that I can't wait for you guys to see. So yeah, like while we're all together, I definitely want to take advantage of it and hopefully do some live stuff, do some Q&As, do whatever you guys, the listeners, want from us. Head on over and let us know what you want to see from us, and we will try to do our best to facilitate that for everybody, because it's all about you guys, really. I'm just a mouth that's flapping the gums.
Oh, and lastly, I forgot to ask this. Do you guys have any merch available?
We do have merch available. It is all in seriously limited quantities right now, thanks to not being able to get a lot of our shipments, and we're completely sold out of Choose Your Own Adventure. We're sold out of a lot of t-shirt sizes, but you can still check out alightdivided.com/store to see if we do have stuff in your size, and I swear we're going to be updating that soon, like as soon as we can. But
There you go.
you got to deal with the cards you're dealt. So that's where we're at right now. We are low because we sold a bunch of stuff on tour. We came home and shit hit the fan before we could restock for the next one. But I guess that's a problem to have, right?
Yeah, definitely. Better, yeah. Thank you, everybody, for listening to my interview with A Light Divided. And thank you, A Light Divided, for, hanging out with me. I think it's been an hour.
Yeah, I've had a good time. I appreciate you reaching out, wanting to talk to us. Like, I was so excited. I'm like, oh, finally, I get to talk to somebody. And you the real one.
Remember to follow them, everybody. And remember that without music, life would be a mistake.